Hello. I'm here today because I would like to take you on a little journey around my base. I've done a little bit of work, and I have plenty more planned. But what I've done so far, I've quite enjoyed, so I think I'll keep going. Right here we have my fine little starter house. And inside, we have my first little cooking setup. Smelted all my initial ores here. Nothing fancy. Very, very starter home-esque. And come back here. And this is the storage. I have some villagers down here. Eventually I'll get them properly set up. But they, you know, what I need for now. So, eventually this will be a nice long hallway. Cut through here. Get all the villagers we need set up. All the professions and all the trades we want. Right now we're just kind of, putting that off, because that's boring. But yeah, this is kind of the style I was going for. It's nice kind of, I don't know. It used to be like a clean white hallway, and now it's all dirty and, you know, I don't know. Maybe there's some fun story there we can tell. But anyway, right under here, I want to make like a little secret tunnel, because right above there is a little stone generator. So, yeah, just typical stone generator, lava flowing over water, and gets us the stone there. But yeah, right down here, whoop, make a nice little drop down there, and that'll be a fun little secret entrance down below, and then you might actually block this up and make that go way up and down. But you know, did have one little incident. A not so friendly neighbor came in, and these two were temporarily a bit, shall we say, green. Very green. So, outside here is my very fancy bamboo farm. It's highly effective, and as you can see, completely manual. I have plans, this is one of my next plans, is to make a bamboo farm, so I won't have to manually cut all this down all the time, craft it into blocks of bamboo, and then store it or put it somewhere to use for something. We can definitely make great use out of all of those blocks in a lot of future projects, and I do have a few in mind. Right now I'm looking at this right here and wanting it gone because it's gross. But I needed a lot of glass for this project, which is, I guess you can call it an apiary, a beehive, this is where I get my honey. And as you can see, it's doing pretty well on its own there. Yep. And then the idea is actually we don't really need to come in here if we don't want to, but I do want to do that. So right now I have it all set up for bottles, because I wanted to get a lot of honey blocks, which is what I just crafted up there. And those honey blocks will help me do a lot of different things. But yeah, right now, just pop that right there. So, yeah, if I do want to come and maintain it quickly, I can just grab that. Grab the bottles, craft it up, and then throw them right back in there. And those shuffle on down in that hopper line there. That gets those all filled back up, right to capacity. But yeah, so I wanted all that glass for those bottles, so I made this a temporary super smelter here. I do want to build probably a slightly bigger one right over here, which is this big area that I flattened out for a couple different things. One, namely the bamboo farm that I still need to build up, which that's going to be next, right around here. And yeah, and then I'm probably gonna have a super smelter here, right adjacent to it, and then on the other side over here, more than likely I'm gonna put a kelp farm, so that I can get some automatically farmed kelp, get it all smelted up in the super smelter, and cycle it back in for the fuel, and let it cook away whatever else I need to feed into it. Probably gonna stick a little cactus farm right over here as well. So I'll have some bamboo, smelter, kelp, cactus, and that'll be a nice little area filled up here. I haven't really decided if I'm going to kind of continue in this, whatever style you want to call this, but I just kind of threw up some walls around the sugarcane farm here to keep it all contained, and I'm going for kind of a sort of open, sprawling farm. I like to put all this kind of stuff on display because I really like watching everything move and tick around. Like, I really like the kinetic nature of kind of a lot of these redstone projects. Ignore that, saw nothing. Actually, one of the things I really get passionate about for no other reason. It's just kind of fun to build them. This is, I'll call it my design, but really it's just a cobbled together pieces of other people's technology to make it do what I wanted it to do. It's obviously a moss farm, but really, you know, it's for bone meal, so this produces enough bone meal to be self-sufficient and produce extra. Each cell individually is self-sufficient, so each one produces a little bit more than what it needs, and all that excess adds up to a lot of bone meal pretty quickly. So I decided to slap on a little crafter here and get these all crafted up automatically. Wouldn't have to worry too much about that. Do occasionally have to come over here, and glad I checked that, as that gets filled up occasionally. And now I've been yeah, I guess I've been exploring in the area, so that filled up. But that's you know, I need to figure that out. But I'm not too worried about it right now. It's doing what it needs to do. You know, I just gotta keep an eye on it. And here is the probably saddest thing that I've ever built. It makes just the tiniest amount of bamboo. This guy is sad. He's lonely. And he's not in the right spot either. Yeah, the bamboo farm's gonna go over there, but I was just testing, make sure this, I don't know, very simplified version of a bamboo farm works. I'm not gonna do a sweeper farm, I guess because I already have one with a sugarcane, and I don't know, for whatever reason, it just doesn't seem as interesting to me. Come on, are you kidding me? That was like practically a bullseye that first shot. Come on. So I do really want to do something different for the bamboo. And I do have a little bit of a design that I think, I don't know, looks kind of cool, but I gotta figure something out that's gonna produce me enough bamboo to make enough where I'm actually producing significant enough quantities to craft all the different pieces that I want to craft, i.e. chests and you know, the slabs and planks and sticks, and just having all those wooden pieces kind of automatically crafted, I think will be really nice for future projects, which is why I want to kind of focus on that next. One of the things holding me back was I've gotten caving a few times for iron, but I never really pulled enough redstone out, and so I had to keep kind of going back to the mines for more and more redstone. I don't have to do that anymore. Yeah, you can see this box of redstone it's got a significant quantity of redstone. I'm set for a while, and that's because I decided that the rest would come from a witch farm. So that's why I have this dog leg over here. I went exploring and I managed to find myself a swamp down here. This swamp we will go visit in a moment. I need to go south. It's gonna be south and east. I suppose now's good enough time as any to talk quickly about some of the mods I got set up. This is a relatively vanilla playthrough. I obviously, if you see in the upper left hand, I'm using some quality of life mods that do help enhance some of the features like navigation. Does really help me. I get disoriented pretty quickly, especially at night. You know, there's not a great way to navigate at night, or if you're underground, right? So I do like having that kind of the directional coordinates. It really helps me keep myself oriented, and you know, having the biome information is really nice too. I don't really consider it advantageous other than just not getting lost. Alright, there it is. Yeah, this is my ugly little box farm. It is obviously nothing special. This is pretty much Mango's design. That's, you know, the same clock he used, same concept with the shifting floor, so you can expediently move all the witches down. I'd say the only thing that's really different about my design, I didn't really look that closely at his trigger design, because it's the same concept. You know, you're just running a line of observers and then getting that one tick pulse off of here. Not the one tick pulse, rather the extended clock pulse. And then yes, the observers will create that one tick pulse line that shifts the sand over, and then you have all of the trapdoors in there, bringing out or pushing down the witches down all the way down to the bottom. They just will die down here and then get all their drops picked up by this guy. Here's some of the stuff that I don't really need. And then it'll all collect there. Yeah, so that's how I got all my my redstone. I didn't really need to. It's honestly it's a really nice farm. You know, you come up here. You'll get quite a few to spawn, and I'd say that represents maybe a total of like an hour of me sitting here, just waiting for those witches to spawn and produce all the loot that I need. Yeah, and I honestly don't really need to do that, so I'm gonna not go in the right direction. See, this is why I have the coordinates. Getting lost out in the Minecraft world. If I didn't know where I was going, I'd never get home. Have I picked through that shit before? Probably. not. So am I still going south? Why am I going south? Don't go south. Go north. This is me still getting lost, even with the coordinates. Now I know I can just kind of head back this way and I'll be alright. Ultimately, what I always end up doing, and this has been such a huge part of the update, one, the bundles are great, but two, lodestones and compasses that are attached to those lodestones, huge for navigation. And you know, that's my like sort of non-modded way to navigate myself back home, or you know, in a particular direction. But in this case, this is my home compass, so home base. Yeah. So I just keep that in my my little go bag bundle here, and I literally just hover over it, and you know, I know, oh, I'm not going the right direction. I need to go back that way. So that's been great. I've loved that change. Just the fact that they've made those much more accessible. So yeah, having the lodestones be craftable with an iron ingot makes them just insanely more useful. And I actually have a kind of cool idea I want to implement with the compass and lodestone system like that. I do have one little guy in my base here right now, but yeah, so I want to kind of use that little guy for means of navigating in between points quickly, and yeah, I think it'd be cool to kind of use that in an electric course. So I'm building right now in my creative world a mock-up. And the idea is essentially, you know, you kind of go through a gate, and you go through another gate. It'll detect you going through that gate, and then you have to get, you know, 5 or 6 or however many in the area, all lit up. So you go through them. Once you go through those, it unlocks a door, and you go through the door, and then when you go through the door, it gives you a compass, and that compass points you to the next set of gates that you want to go through. So it's kind of like a fun take on an electric course, instead of just kind of going through the hoops and looking back at your recording to see how long it took. I want to be able to, you know, detect when the player starts, goes through the rings, and comes back and hits the finish line. So it would be like a more official way of timing that. Yeah, also making it a little more interactive, give you it's kind of something, you know, instead of just flying, right? You know, I feel like it get a little stale going through the course. You know, you do it once or twice, you're like, all right, cool. What else is there to do? It just makes it a little more interesting, kind of having to navigate the course, get the lights to light up, open the gate, you know, fly through that gate, get the compass, and go to the next section. And yeah, I don't know. It'll be fun for me to build it either way, even if it doesn't turn out the way I expect it to. It's been interesting trying to figure out getting that all to work. So, long and the short of it, like I said, I'm just kind of getting started. I got a bunch of plans. Eventually, you know, I want to get a gunpowder farm. I had one built up. It didn't look great, so I tore it down. I have enough gunpowder for now that I'm good on rockets. You know, I'm solid. So, yeah, I do have some plans for this area. I want to get all the resources. You know, I want to build up some of the more farms, but you know, and eventually I want to bring all the resources back on a main pipeline. This pipeline's going to run all the way over from that plains area, because I want to build a flower farm over there for some dyes, and then you know, kind of pull in any of the input or output rather from the smelter, from the bamboo farm, from the cactus farm. Ship out all of this output, and then wherever this needs to go, You know, obviously I want to send them, a lot of it's going to probably end up over there, and then the rest of it probably will back up in storage, or maybe some other farms that I decide along the way that'll need some bone meal. But yeah, that's kind of the idea for now. And you know, eventually I think I want to build up like a nice little factory area up here where all the inputs, or outputs rather, come to be collected, sorted, further crafted, refined, what have you, depending on what we got going on. I definitely want to get some more fireworks going, because yeah, I just love fireworks. They're so much fun. Cool things I got planned. And yeah, I think that's about it for now. Appreciate you. Catch you on the flip side. See ya next time. Adios. And goodbye.